What's up, guys? Love ya. Hope you're doing well. I want to make this video about individuality in America and the contrast with that and large families and with cultures outside of America. So, when I was younger, and still to a degree now, I thought it'd be cool to be part of a real cohesive family. I particularly thought, oh, my cats are. I particularly liked Italian American and Greek American families. They were always very close and very proud of that and sort of boisterous and things. As far as I know, I don't have any of those ancestry or genetic. I'm not Italian or Greek at all or anything like that. I come to the conclusion that I think it's probably better for me personally to not be in one of those families, even though they do have their benefits. And I think it's kind of person to person will get more benefit out of it than another. One thing is that you just kind of have real good friends, and they're pretty much permanent friends, unless you get in like a really huge argument or just really don't like them. Like, otherwise, you'll probably see them as a lot of family outings, get together, whatnot. Similar thing with Mexican American, but that wasn't so prevalent until I was about 10 years old, where there was much more Mexican immigration coming into the area of America that I lived. But in the culture, in like TV and movies, you'd see a lot of Italian American, Greek American, and then, being real close, working together, and stuff like that, supporting each other. It's kind of funny that Italians sort of think of themselves as one big family and especially close with other Italians, Italian Americans, but Italians themselves in Italy, from what I've seen, don't really like Italian Americans that much. Not the best example, but if you watch something like The Jersey Shore, which was a big show in America, they go to Italy for one season, and the Italians were very much not welcoming. Really didn't like the Italian Americans. But those are kind of extreme cases. So anyway, one group that I shouldn't say that. I do envy that they do support each other again to some group, sometimes a lot, is Asian Americans. And they are the most extreme from what I've seen, in that they will, just a lot of Asians in general, but I'll say specifically Chinese and Korean, maybe Japanese, Filipino. So I think most Asian groups seem to support their children a lot, seem to give them a lot of things. This is a person that wasn't American, but my Singaporean friend said that they would give money to their parents as adults once they got a job and things, and it was so confusing to me. It seemed really bizarre. But the reason for that is because the parents basically pay for every single thing when they're a child, and they pay for their education, and sometimes, not so much in Singapore, but just whatever they would need, whatever they would want, a car, housing, food, clothing, everything, for a long time until they got a solid job, like a career job. And so then they would pay the parents back. So that makes more sense. But in America, it's not like that. It can vary family to family. With sort of Caucasian people in general, it varies greatly, and amongst Black Americans, it can vary also. But generally, we're much less supportive of our offspring. I don't have any kids. I don't want kids, but Black people, white people, much less supportive of the offspring. Especially, I'm speaking in terms of specifically supporting them financially. Having said that, I do think sometimes Italian Americans, Mexican Americans tend to help each other get like jobs and things like that, which is nice. Sorry for clearing my throat. I'm getting over a sickness. But sometimes this comes with giving up a little bit of, excuse me, individuality, and I hold my individuality and freedom very highly. I don't like people intruding, telling me what they want me to do, what they think I should do, and things like this. I'm all for hearing suggestions and advice and things like that. But, for example, I knew a Chinese girl who her parents paid for everything, for education and travel and lodging and all of these things. And so they told her what she could and couldn't do, like where she could spend time, who she could hang out with, what extracurricular activities she could do, and so on and so forth. And she did what they said, because otherwise they would take away. They wouldn't pay for these things for her. So, one thing is that I guess you at least get a choice in those families, because you could go, all right, I won't take this stuff, but then you don't have the control over what I say. Whereas with many other, I'll just say, like, for example, my family, I wasn't given a choice. It was just my parents helped me out with some things sometimes, but it wasn't carte blanche. Hey, we'll pay for your car, we'll pay for your lodging wherever you want to stay, at college or elsewhere, or your phone bill, your tuition, food, etc. And I think on average it's harder for Black Americans than sometimes being kicked out before they're 18, which I believe is illegal. But I mean, that happens with every group too, with white people and whatnot. But yeah. So I guess now that when I talk about it out loud, it's pretty much better to have that support system, because you can always go, hey, I just want a break, and forego the benefits, whereas otherwise you just don't have benefits. Yeah, so it's very different from most cultures and literally the rest of the world. I don't know the metric how they measured this, but I saw a site where they ranked the least and most individualistic cultures, and America was the most individualistic. So, yeah. I think it makes sense in that if you go to anybody around wherever you live in America, they're probably going to have a very different life from you in a variety of different ways. They might look kind of like you, they might not. But either way, they're probably going to have, again, a very different life. And they're probably going to be fairly independent, probably very independent from their family. They probably won't live near their family. Some do, but anyway, if you you found this at all interesting, if you'd like, comment, subscribe, that'd be cool. But if not, that's fine. And thanks for watching. Let me know other topics to talk about. And have a good one. Love it.